What's up out there? It is time to get caught up on Ancient Relic mode. We are currently attempting to run the Depths of Isolation, which I'm probably going to have to run this manually healing through the whole thing, which is going to suck. Currently, we are on depth 8 of this thing. I got all of my combat skills up to level 50, well, aside from prayer, but everything that can be level 50 is level 50. I got done with magic last night, so I switched it over and worked on some herb lore. I thought, well, I'll try to unlock some potions or something, see what that gets me. Didn't really seem to get a whole lot of anything, but we've got all the attack skills, so that's what I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. I did attempt this dungeon slightly. I had my attack, strength, and defense up to level 50, and I don't remember if hit points was there or not, but I had those leveled up. And then the first monsters were just not going to cut it. I was trying to avoid having to sit here and hold the manual heal button through this 28 monster dungeon. So I didn't want to have to do that, but apparently I'm going to have to because I've got ranged and magic all leveled up to 50, and here we are. So basically the best gear that I have is equipped. I probably could get some better gear if I worked on some Abyssal Slayer areas and stuff like that. But I wanted to try to get into a dungeon. It's been a very long time. I feel like if I do lesser Slayer tasks, like if I stay in the Fear realm, I feel like my levels go up faster than if I try to do any more difficult Slayer tasks, because things will slow you down. You'll go from like a 1.6 or 1.5 per second attack interval to like 4.9 or something like that. And then you get stunned or something, so you can't attack back. Like my standard account, I was pushing the more difficult tasks, and it just felt like I was never leveling up. Then I noticed on here what I was doing was basically just leaving this on the fear tasks because they were real easy and I could blow through them, and I felt like I was getting further here in relic mode than I was on my standard account. So I've switched my standard account back to that, or down to fear tasks whenever it's running, and it seems a little better. I don't know if that's like a real thing or if it's just a perception, because I've not really been paying attention to how many monsters I kill or, anything like that on the stat screen. I've just kind of been letting it go, but this is where we're at. So we're going to try and attempt this dungeon. I tried to just let it run and idle, but I did die and I ended up losing something. I don't remember what it was. Nothing too serious, nothing I didn't already have a copy of. So I'm going to have to sit and babysit this one. It's not one of those soft caps on it or anything. But that's kind of about where we're at right now, is just getting into this part here. I have upgraded all my Abyssal Slayer gear. The cool thing is you don't have to keep completing more difficult Slayer tasks. You just have to buy more tokens. So we're sitting fairly pretty on Slayer coin right now, Abyssal Slayer coin, and we've got some decent gear, sort of. I wished I had better gear, definitely some better pants or something, but better pants, better gloves. I know there's I'm pretty sure if I went and ground out this Echo Drifter, I'm pretty sure that Drifter Cape is probably going to have some more Abyssal resistance, but I don't know that for fact, and I'm just kind of not there at this point. Is this the account that I did that on? No. Oh, it is. So if you start collecting these Amulets of Distance, it takes 100 of these to upgrade to, okay? I don't know if you got to this yet, but this Elite Amulet of Precision, once I upgraded that, I found out I needed to get 10 of every one of these other ones to get this massive. This is probably a good amulet, but that means 1,000 of these, and these amulets are horrible drop rate, but that means you need to get 1,000 of those to make that one. That just seems ridiculous. So I am really not looking forward to that grind. Speaking of that, I don't know what's this one got. This is just precision. You know what? Let's toss that on. That is actually better than what I have. So I'll just put that on, a little bit more abyssal resistance. And I'm going to sit here for the next half an hour, I think, while this thing chugs along. I'm sticking with magic because magic seems to do the most damage and kill things the fastest. So that's kind of what I'm going for here, is to just try to kill it off quickly and not have to be stuck at this all day. But we are attempting the Depths of Isolation, and hopefully we'll find the final boss is magic friendly and I can just sit there and let this go. I don't want to sit here for an hour idling that boss, holding that heal button. So if it comes down to a different combat style that I need to use to idle it, then I'm going to just go farm off some gear. But I did want to drop a video in to at least catch up, and it's been a couple weeks. So at any rate, we'll be back when the boss gets here, and it's going to be a while. In fact, I'm going to save this and then use that as a timer to see how long it takes to get there. And we'll be back in a few. Well, here we are at the final boss of this dungeon. I think I'm just going to let this run, and I'm probably going to die. I would imagine I'm going to. I do have illusion on, so I don't lose anything on death, but I can't imagine surviving this. I don't have enough abyssal resistance, and I don't feel like sitting here. It's been 20 minutes just to get up to this point. I did follow the combat triangle to get around. I probably should manually eat through this, like if I take a big shot or something like that. But I don't want to sit here for an hour fighting this because his health is going down. 31 million life. I don't want to sit here this entire time manually healing through this. This is going to be like a 40-minute dungeon, I think, unless things pick up. But I don't think so. And my choices are just bad or worse abyssal resistance is all. So I may just let this thing sit. The problem is it's in the probability range that I'm going to just take a massive hit and die. And I think I might be able to get a better amulet or cape or something and bring this abyssal resistance down. I probably could, well, I don't want to take illusion off because I don't want to lose my gear or lose anything when I die, which I presume is going to happen. I've also noticed, I didn't really catch this, but as I was going through this, you fight the same monsters over and over again for a while. And of course, I'm sitting here manually healing. I am kind of remembering it now that each monster gets corrupted differently. They have the option of any of the corruption. It doesn't say it on here, but I think somewhere it tells you that monsters corrupt with the same corruption pool that you have. And I noticed that one monster would move my the enemy hit around and actually go under my auto eat, and then some wouldn't. And it was the same monster back to back. So I think it was whatever corrupted thing that it had was better for me or something, or worse for me in one case and better for me in the other case. So I don't know. Very dynamic combat situation, I guess, is what this is. So I guess I'm going to sit here for a half an hour and watch this thing go by unless I die here quickly. Is what it is, I guess. We're going to sit here and chug along and see what happens. So I'm either going to come back and say, hey, I completed this, or hey, I died. But I did go through and follow the reverse combat triangle for the monsters in the other side of this, just because they were all over the place. And I actually found out, I feel like the first couple of monsters I couldn't let run on any combat style, like all of them were underneath, and that might have been the corruption they had. But once I got far enough along, I was able to just switch around to the different combat styles, and it seemed to be fine. So I'm not sure what that was all about, but we're going to chip away at this guy, and I'll be back in whatever. But it took, 20-some minutes to get from where the last part of the video is to this part. So we'll just reset that and see where it comes for the next part. Did I say I wasn't going to sit here for an hour? Well, it's not quite been an hour, but 45 minutes of sitting here, just manually holding the mouse button down. Apparently you can't hold the enter key down anymore, but yeah, sat here for the last 45 minutes fighting this thing because I just want this to be over with and get done and move forward. I would definitely not recommend doing the fight this way. Go grind out the gear and be prepared so your auto eat is higher than the max hit. You don't have to sit here. I'm not going to do this again. I've been recording for an hour and 15 minutes now, and this is going to be cut down into a very small video, a much smaller video than that. But I've been sitting here forever just holding this, going through this whole fight. This sucks. This is definitely not how I wanted to spend my Sunday. But I got all my combat skills up to an appropriate level to be able to attempt this. And then, sunk cost sinks in. You get through 27 monsters and may as well try the boss for an hour. But we are through this mess. My hand can have a rest. We're going to get 8 choices on this. Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and take... let's go see what we get first. Let's see what we get. I noticed that thing does bleed damage, so I put the bleed burner cape on mid-fight, so I wouldn't take as much damage. Let's see. We get a choice between cooking and crafting. I kind of want to take crafting because we're fairly low level. And crafting would allow for more rings and stuff. Cooking allows for better food, but I can get that now if I just level up to level 40. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take crafting. Probably not the best decision, but I'm going to take it. We're going to take harvesting. We're going to take summoning. We're going to take corruption on this one. I do want some better bolts, so I'm going to take crafting. I think I'll take agility. We'll take harvesting again, rune crafting, and that's going to do it. So, and we can go to level 60. So we can go to full on combat skills now. Actually, that's really cool. So there's only 2 more depths to go into, and then these strongholds. I don't know where the final boss is, but all right, cool. Probably could attempt a stronghold at some point, too. Might be able to do the stronghold of Blight. Oh, need to clear some of these other ones out. Can we buy anything new? Let's see. We can buy this thing here for 100 million Slayer coin. And Into the Abyss. It doesn't have anything new. So anyway, that pushes us forward a little bit. I just wanted to at least move forward with this. It's been a few weeks, so it is a very long and miserable journey to get to this point. I would not recommend sitting here manually doing this. That's almost as bad as Impending Darkness. But you can at least pause Impending Darkness and go do something else for a little bit. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.